Hello, it's Sonda Mulunduch Pampata. I haven't done one of these videos in some months. That's because the last video that I did, that was entitled During Psychosis, I think a few days after that, I went into some terrible relapse. And I was actually hospitalized for about 11 days and I was put back on medication. So my whole purpose of doing the videos and trying to find a way to avoid or get cured from bipolar was unsuccessful. So part of the reason I'm doing this video is I've had a lot of time to think and to reflect and also to experience different phases of my illness. The thing is, what happened to me was after that, I was so disappointed with myself that I went deep into depression. As much as I was medicated, I wasn't myself because I was so disappointed with the fact that I failed to defeat this thing by myself. So I since stayed on my meds, which were changed from time to time. They've been reduced. I've got this arrangement with my psychiatrist to say that the meds should be reduced as much as possible, which has been done. I'm feeling great. I've been able to function normally, and I really can't complain too much. All I can say is I went through months of some very terrible um, times, and now I've since joined a support group where other people have the same ailment, and we're able to share our different experiences. That's helped me a lot. I'm able to socialize and mix around with people normally, whereas before I sort of isolated myself. I typically felt like a failure because I got to a very low point in my life where I didn't want to accept this thing at all. But I've since felt a lot better. It's been a combination of support, a lot of family support, a lot of support, like I said, from the support group that I've joined. It's an anti-depression and anxiety group called SADAC, based here in South Africa. So that's really helped me a whole lot. And I'm able to socialize with people, I'm able to interact with people a lot better than before because I really slumped. I went down, completely down. And I believe you can, since I've experienced like maybe 13 years of not taking medication and I was more or less fine, you can more or less say this disorder comes and goes. What I've realized now in my experience and in my thinking is that when you're at a low point, okay, when things are not going so well for you, then you're more susceptible to getting attacked. Because it's happened to me in two phases. It happened first in '99 in America. Then I was going through a low point. Then it happened again in 2014. I had just gone through about maybe 5 years or so of a lot of different problems and situations, from losing, well, I did resign from my job, but I failed to get another one immediately. So my life kind of got tangled. I was struggling in life, struggling in my relationships, things like that. So it was a combination of things that got me down. And it was similar in America as well. So now I've reached a point where I feel I'm stable. I'm not having problems with that anymore, and I feel a lot stronger. Therefore, I feel better. As much as I still am medicated, I don't feel sick. because I've noticed one thing from spending time with similar problems, similar people with the same problem, is that they've been medicated for years, but because they're still going through certain problems, certain situations, um, they they still have anxiety attacks, they still have issues and things like that. They still basically complain, which I can say now that I'm not having any of that right now. I'm 100% fine, if I may say that. So I think it's also to do with the condition you're in. I'm not saying that everything that I'm going through now is 100%, but what I can basically say is the things that are important to me are okay for now. Therefore, I'm not affected by it. It's not dragging me, it's not draining me. So I'm on a very light medication at the moment, but yet I feel great, At first I was put on some very high dose medication, which obviously made me feel drowsy and things like that, and I didn't appreciate it. So I basically spoke to my psychiatrist and said if they could reduce it slowly but surely. So I've been switched around from different medication to medication, and now I'm just on epilim. That's it. I take about 600 milligrams a day. Yeah, that's basically it. So that's what I've basically understood. I was doing a lot of videos before because I was still trying to understand what's going on. I'll upload from time to time, but I don't think the frequency will be as intense as I was before, because then I had a passion to more or less defeat this situation. And even when I was hospitalized, um, I'd gone through a situation where I felt like I was going to be killed, and I was talking all sorts of psychotic nonsense and things like that. And you know, it borders now between bipolar and schizophrenia, because now some doctors will even think that you're schizophrenic when you're not. The thing is, what I did is I stopped my medication called Turkey, which I was basically taking advice from the videos that I was watching with Sean. I forget his last name now, because I haven't really watched his videos much anymore. We all differ. What I'm beginning to realize is we all have different conditions, and different medication works and reacts differently towards us. Our psychiatrists as well, unless they experience what you're experiencing, do they really know what's going on? Otherwise, they're also just trying, they're also just guessing, So I feel I'm glad that I've reached a stable point, and I'd like to say that at this point I wouldn't take the risk of stopping my meds again cold turkey, because then I might have a relapse like I did before. If I'm ever going to go off my meds again, I would rather be weaned off, slowly but surely, then eventually I'll go off them. But for now I feel great, so it doesn't really matter whether I take them or not. I'll just continue, on the path that I've established. Yeah, so this was just feedback, just to more or less have some kind of conclusion, especially to those that are experiencing this problem and have been struggling with it. Fortunately for me, I don't really struggle with it that much. It'll come, I'll relapse, but not often. Like now, I feel I can go years without any problems and things like that, and it's great. So I'm going to maintain it, and I'm going to kind of stick to the plan that I've got right now, just for safety's sake. I just want to encourage those people who haven't figured it out yet that it's a cocktail. It's a cocktail. You have to get the right medication. You also have to get the right advice from your friends and family. And yeah, it's a combination of things. I just want to say I wish you well, and we'll I'll upload another video sometime soon. Thank you.